buenos días. Estamos con Brian Wong, que va a estar ahora en la conferencia WebConf Latino. Él es uno de nuestros invitados especiales. Y ahora vamos a comenzar a hacer unas cuantas preguntas para que nos cuente acerca de lo que nos tiene preparados para la conferencia. Hello, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Pretty good. It's very nice to have you here. And we're going to go and try to learn a little more about what you have prepared for us for the WebConf Latino.
Absolutely. I'd love to tell you more.
Cool. So just tell us a little bit about what you've been doing lately. I know you've been in and out of the country in a lot of conferences and doing a lot of business. So just tell us about what's been up.
So the life of a BD person, of course, in business development is that a lot of travel is involved. And luckily for me, I caught the travel bug a couple years ago when I went on an exchange semester abroad in Singapore. So I've had this travel bug. I've had this addiction to travel for the longest time now. So it fit very perfectly with my job. So last couple of months, I've been traveling around the world to Hong Kong, Singapore, and to Medellin, Colombia. My first time in South America. And that was probably some of the best times I've ever had in a foreign country. It was a lot of fun. The people there were very warm, and I really liked it there. And just most of these trips were to conferences to speak about youth entrepreneurship and to share some thoughts about kind of the things that we've been working on at Dig in the mobile space and in the new version as well. So a little bit of everything.
Pretty cool. So you like Latin America a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very careful because I know there's differences between the different areas, but I just Colombia itself, I think the world is very wrong about Colombia, and once you're actually there and you see it with your own eyes and you get to meet the people, you're just blown away. And I think the people there are some of the warmest that I've ever met, and I don't think there's any reason not to return. So I will go back. I hope very soon.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but there's an ad campaign going on TV that says that Colombia, if you go there, the only risk is that you're gonna want to stay there forever. So
yeah.
Okay.
And people will like, what are you talking about? Until they actually get there, they go, wow, I get it now.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So how about what you're doing now in San Francisco? I see you're the background. You were telling me you're in an incubator right now.
Yeah. So as you see, this is not Dig, and something that's actually very recent, and I'm glad that now it can finally talk about it publicly. Is as of last a couple weeks, I am now officially not with Dig. I moved on to start my own company, and this new company is in the mobile advertising space. And I've decided that I'm going to incubate it, and this is the office that I've been working out of over the last couple weeks. So that's a very exciting next move for me, and as you can almost see, it's sort of like it just reflects the life of an entrepreneur and the excitement and the changes and the volatility that happens on a very regular basis.
Yeah, it's like in these times, 6 months is like you're like a lifetime. Things change pretty fast.
Yeah, so they kind of joke. I know a month in the tech industry is like a year in dog years. You know what I mean? It's just there are people who are employed by a startup for more than 2 years and they're considered dinosaurs. Like, it just sounds really absurd to a lot of people in the traditional industries, but here it's normal. Obviously, my stint was a little bit shorter, but coming down here, my eyes, and being young, my eyes were opened up to so many more opportunities, and it's just a matter of being able to have the ability to seize them.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing how, I mean, at a pretty young age, you have been able to start a lot of companies, because before Dig, you started, I think, a few companies. Then you became kind of a rock star there in Silicon Valley, I think. You started working at Dig, and now you're starting your own company again. Are you already talking to investors for this new venture and doing all that kind of work?
Yeah, so I would say that the reason why I kept on doing it, I kept on starting so many different things, is I think at the end of the day, in order to ride a bike, you don't learn it by reading a book. You ride the bike, right? And so for me, it was doing it is probably the best way that I had learned all the ways to even think about having the possibility and the lower barriers to entry and being able to start something. The biggest barriers for people is most of it's psychological, right? They think they can't start something up because it'll cost too much, or they won't know the right people to talk to, blah 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 blah. But once you actually get to start doing it, you realize how easy it is, right? And well, not easy, but like easier than you had originally thought. And it's all about just persistence and a little bit of curiosity and a little bit of everything. And you'll hear common themes with different entrepreneurs. But for me, being young is actually an advantage point for me. Like having that energy and having that curiosity that people are normally very drawn to, I think is a good component when you're trying to create interest around your startup. So me coming down here, one of the things that I've realized in the Valley is that there's a lot of different dynamics and environments here. And one of them is the investing community. I would say that there's obviously a lot more people down here with the money that can help start things up. But it doesn't mean that they throw money at anybody, but it just means that the capital is more easily accessible, or as I like to call it, the Valley is full of listeners. There are people here that even if they are the most important person in a company, like the CEO or president, will lend you 5 minutes of their time just to hear you out, because there are multiple times in history where there's some 19 or 18-year-old kid who has an idea, and the next day it becomes Facebook. That's how. So people realize that these opportunities are abound. So specifically for my startup, what I can say is, we've started the process of raising some seed capital, and we've had some very serious interest. So I'm very excited that validation is there, and all it is, raising money is just a necessary step for an entrepreneur. When we're building a certain type of company that requires that type of capital. So for me, we need it, and I'm taking the necessary steps to go forward with it. That's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now.
Pretty cool. Congratulations on doing that. So I guess now that you are moving ahead on your career as an entrepreneur, and we are going to have you in the conference in a few weeks, maybe the focus of your talk is going to change a bit, right? Now you're not representing Dig, but you have all the experience from that role. So what's going to be the focus now of your talk? I mean, it's going to be even more interesting, I think. And I want to tell all the people listening here that it's I rather hear from your experience as an entrepreneur now more than what your role at Dig was. But tell me what your thoughts are about.
Yeah.